Hey guys, it's Amber. Welcome, or hopefully welcome back. It's been quite a while since we've had a little sit down chatty video in the guest room. Sorry ahead of time for the laundry on the guest bed. You know how it is. It's easy to get the laundry done, but folding and putting it away seems to take an eternity. And I just don't feel like it. So what I wanted to discuss was what's different about cycle 7. We tried a different method this time that I'm really hopeful works, and also I've got a little weird story time. So hopefully you guys enjoy this kind of video. I'm hoping to add new things because I know it's a long time in between videos, so if you guys have any ideas, definitely let me know. So as you guys know, I'm currently in the 2-week wait of cycle 7. It is going incredibly slow. So to pass the time, I want to talk about what we did differently this time. So first of all, I'm still taking my ritual prenatals. These are amazing. They're all vegetarian. They have absolutely everything you need. They have vitamin D. They have the iron you need. They have the DHA. They have real folate instead of the synthetic folic acid. Absolutely love these. They are a little pricey, but the great thing is that it automatically renews every 30 days and it gets delivered right to your house. You don't have to worry about running out and going to pick up a bottle when you're about to be out. It's just one less thing to stress about. And because you guys know that I took a break from taking anything whatsoever, I was able to log on and I actually put my subscription on hold. So it's on hold indefinitely until I decide that I need more. Another thing we are still doing the same is, of course, pre-seed. What do we say on this channel? Less is more. I know it says to use a certain amount, but trust me, use the bare minimum. Just go up to the one on the insertion syringe. Less is definitely more. This has been absolutely wonderful. As I'm getting older, I'm now in my early 30s, so CM is not as abundant as it was obviously in my 20s. So this has been absolutely wonderful to make sure that the little soldiers have a nice environment to survive in and hopefully get that egg. I'm still continuing to take my basal body temperature. I just have the cheapest of the cheapest basal thermometer. This one is $7.99 at Target. Not much to say about this. It does the job. These are great to use in conjunction with your OPKs. I usually start taking my temperature the day after my period ends, all the way through AF arriving. So after I get my positive OPK, I'm looking for 3 temp rises in a row, and that's how I know for sure that I ovulated. The new thing that we did this cycle, and this is gonna sound a little weird, but maybe not, because so many of you, I mean so many of you, recommended this method to us, and so we figured we've tried so many things, why not try this too? And that's the Softcup method. So these are called soft discs. If you are on Instagram, I'm sure you've seen the ad for Flex menstrual discs. These are the exact same, except they are, I think, less than half the price. So this is the store brand one. I don't want to waste any, so you could probably see it through the package. It's a ring with a little bag attached to it, and these are normally used for your period, but we are using them for TTC. And what these do is, instead of plugging the canal like a tampon or like a Diva cup, a menstrual cup would, these actually sit up right against your cervix. So what we've been doing, TMI, if you don't want to know about TMI, this is a TTC channel, so we are going to talk about some not so great things anyway. So after we get done doing the deed, I have one of these right next to me on my headboard, and I pop it in and I'm able to stand right up, I'm able to go to the bathroom, and I'm able to go to sleep. You can keep these in for up to 12 hours. So what this has been doing is after we baby dance and I put this in, it's making sure that the sperm doesn't have to fight against gravity instead of just like pouring out of you. Gross, I know, but you guys are trying to conceive a baby. You know exactly what I'm talking about. So instead of them having to fight gravity, this holds them right up against the opening of your cervix. And so they have no choice but to go up and in. So this has been absolutely great. Instead of laying on my back with my legs in the air, feeling naked and vulnerable, this has been wonderful because I'm able to just get up, go about my night, and then I'm able to sleep with it, and I take it out first thing in the morning, and that's been awesome. They literally have no choice but to go towards their destination. So we will see how this works. If you look at what I did differently or how I finally got pregnant videos on YouTube, a lot of TTC women recommend the Softcup method. So not only have you guys been flooding my DMs recommending it, but also it just seems to be everywhere I turn. So we figure, why not? You get 14 for like $12 at Walgreens, Rite Aid, Walmart, wherever. Yeah, not much to say about these. Definitely look up videos about the Softcup method if you're interested. I'm hoping that it works. I feel good about it. Extra TMI, gross, when I take it out the day after, or when I take it out the morning after, it's essentially empty. So, I mean, it seems to be doing the job that I want it to do. So, gross. I'm embarrassed. But I just want to be honest with you guys. It seems like it did exactly what I was hoping it would. So if I end up getting my BFP, of course we can't prove that it was because of the Softcup method, but I mean, after 6 months of absolutely nothing, if I do get my positive, I'm gonna probably give a lot of credit to the menstrual disc. So definitely look into it. Why the heck not? We try so many weird things in the hopes of getting our babies. What's one more weird thing, right? Now, for my story time about why I feel so hopeful this cycle. Going back to the day before I started my period, which was Thursday, July 25th. That night, I did a test that morning, I believe, and it was negative, and I knew that I had my temp drops, so I knew that Aunt Flo was coming at any second. So that night when I went to sleep, I had a very vivid dream. I mean, vivid. I woke up extremely confused. It felt so real. So the dream started off where I started my period the next day, which would have been Friday, July 26th. And then it like fast forwarded until cycle 7, where I was recording YouTube videos, everything, the whole 9, and it felt so real. And in that dream, I got my BFP during cycle 7. It fast forwarded to like all the pregnancy updates, all of the appointments, like all of the videos that I'm hoping to do soon so that we could get to the fun stuff. And then we found out that my due date would be April 30th, 2020. Now this date is extremely significant to me, like extremely. And I'll get to that in a second. So we found out that my due date would be April 30th, 2020, and that we were having a little girl just like we want. Of course, we'll be happy having a second boy. That goes without saying, but of course we want to know what it's like to have a daughter as well. But in this dream, we found out that it was a little girl, and then fast forward, she was born on April 30th, 2020. The reason that that date is so significant to me is because that is the day that my dad passed away. So It still hurts. He passed away April 30th, 2012, very suddenly and very unexpectedly. I might go into that at another time, but still 7 years later, it's still very traumatic for me. It was the absolute worst day of my life. Incredibly traumatic, and I still suffer from PTSD because of it. My dad was my whole entire world. He was my best friend. He was my brother. He was my dad. He was my whole entire heart, and he was my number one. And his name was Casey, by the way, and as you know, that's our 2-year-old son's name. So our son Casey is named after my dad. So it was crazy to me that in the dream, my due date would be such a monumental date to me. Like, obviously that date holds a lot of pain and a lot of sadness. So here's where it gets real weird. So the next day, obviously, I woke up on Friday freaking out because the dream was so incredibly real. And I woke up to Aunt Flo. And so I thought, okay, that's weird. I just dreamt last night that I was starting my period the next day, and I did. So I'm like, how weird. I'm like, well, maybe if that's true, I wonder if anything else about the dream was true. So I went to a due date calculator to see what my due date would be if I did end up getting my BFP during cycle 7. So I went onto the website and I put in July 26th, 2019. I put that I have a 27-day cycle, and it said that my estimated due date is April 30th, 2020. I freaked out, you guys. Like, I absolutely freaked out. I know not everybody believes in dreams meaning anything or having like premonitions and stuff like that, but how crazy is that? You can't tell me that that's not crazy. I had the most vivid dream I've ever had in my entire life that I would start my period the next day, Friday, July 26th. I did. I had a dream that we were pregnant with a little girl and that her due date was April 30th, 2020. An extremely sentimental day to me, and I just said, why not? Checked my estimated due date if I were to get my BFP this cycle during cycle 7, and it's April 30th, 2020. You can't tell me that that's not crazy. Like, it still blows my mind. So that's why I feel so hopeful for this cycle, probably more hopeful than I have any of the other cycles, including cycle 1 when we first decided to start trying. But if you're wondering why I have like such a good outlook on this cycle, that is why. Most vivid dream of my life, and it was coming true. So all we need now is my BFP and to find out that it's a little girl. Those are the only 2 remaining parts of the dream that have not come true yet. So I know this might seem silly to some other people, but obviously that day holds a lot of heartbreak for me, and I kind of feel like it was a message from my dad saying to just hold on tight, that all of the no's so far were so that I could get this yes to bring some happiness to a month that breaks my heart every year. I hope that that makes sense. I hope you think that it's as cool as I do, and let's please keep our fingers tightly crossed, send mountains of baby dust, that the rest of this crazy dream comes true. I'm calling it the premonition dream. So, and how would I know in my sleep that exactly like 9 months, like when I would start my period, when, like how long my cycles are. Like there's no way like in my sleep that I could like come up with that exact due date and then decide to look it up and it was that exact due date. So you can go look it up yourself. If you go to a due date calculator that lets you put your cycle length in there, do July 26, 2019 with a 27-day cycle, and the due date is April 30th, 2020. So please, please, please keep your fingers tightly crossed for me. Send all the mountains of baby dust, prayers, happy thoughts, hope, anything you've got. Please send it my way. I would absolutely love if this dream actually means what I think it means. And of course, I had an emergency C-section with Casey, so I know that my estimated due date isn't gonna be exactly accurate, but I still think it's kind of cool. And hopefully you enjoyed this little story time about what we decided to do differently this cycle and why I feel so great about it. So if you're new here, please make sure you like and subscribe and hit the little bell so that YouTube hopefully lets you know when I post my next video. Testing videos should be coming up tomorrow. So definitely hit the bell so that you know when I upload those, and whether you've been here for a few videos or right from the very start. I love you guys so, so much, and I appreciate you more than you could ever possibly know. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.